please introduce yourselves and what you do here at the Childress Agency.
Sure. Good morning, Kyle. I'm Gerald Childress, and I'm the president and CEO of Childress Agency.
I'm Kendall Childress, Gerald's wife, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer. I kind of have my hands in a little bit of everything.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the first Visionary Spotlight. We're so happy to be here in your facility at your headquarters here in downtown Fredericksburg, right next to the train tracks and Purina Tower. We'd love to find out more about your all's company today and kind of find out, what brought you here today, and also what is the future for the Childress Agency. And so let's start from the beginning, though. What was the inspiration for creating the Childress Agency?
There was really two reasons that we started the Childress Agency. The first reason was that we have children, and I was doing the commute that everybody else does, from leaving at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, getting home at 7 o'clock at night, and not really having family time. So we decided to start our company. And the second part of that is we wanted to be able to help small to medium-sized businesses. And when we started the company, there really wasn't a full-service advertising agency that could allow small businesses to build their brands. And that really was the second reason that we started.
It's fantastic. So when you mentioned that those were the two inspirations for it, is that what you would say is the main goal then? Is to solve those branding and awareness issues for those small to medium-sized businesses?
Well, again, that's another two-prong. We covered that earlier, is to help small businesses to continue to grow and build their brands. But by doing that, we're able to offer great jobs in the Fredericksburg region, from creative types to programmers, content writers, as well as business development professionals.
Fantastic. And can you talk a little bit about how your acquisition of Cyberability allows you to do that as well?
Absolutely. The Childress Agency is really all about custom. Everything that we do in the Childress Agency is a custom website, custom brand, and sometimes the smaller businesses just aren't ready for that yet. So the acquisition of Cyberability has allowed us to open up to handle pretty much every business in the Fredericksburg region. Fantastic.
What's your favorite thing about the headquarters here?
Well, one thing, we have a step contest going on. So we get out every day. We're able to walk in the community, and we try to create a fun family environment here. We bring our dogs to work, and years ago it used to be bring your kids to work. Now we're bringing our grandkids to work, and they're able to run through the office and play, and it's just creating a fun environment.
When you mentioned the acquisition of Cyberability and how the Childress Agency is really a place to create those websites and that brand for those businesses as custom, how important do you think a website is to a business's success?
It's probably the most important thing, because as you know, we live in an internet world. Everybody you look at, they're looking at their phone, their tablet, their computer. That's really the face of your business. So no matter if you spend $100,000 on a commercial or business card, wrap your truck, or whatever it may be, we all go back to the same thing. And if your website doesn't represent your business in the way you want it to, it's not going to represent it to your potential client either.
Never really thought about it like that. It's very intriguing. I never thought about it like that. You mentioned this place being a family atmosphere, and walking through the community, when you see those community needs, how important is giving back to the community for you all?
It's been very important to us. We started Childress Cares a few years ago, and what we do with that is we donate up to $25,000 worth of free work to nonprofits in the area. And in the past, we've helped Lloyd Moss, the Fredericksburg SPCA, Other Side of the Dunes, which is a veteran-owned business. And this year, we gave the opportunity to Empower House. So it's very important to be able to give back, because without this community, we don't grow our business.
So what would you say is your all's favorite project that you've ever worked on?
Our favorite project, that's really hard to say. They're all kind of unique in their own way, but I'd have to say my most recent favorite project would have to be Sunday Rose Cakes. We met LaTanya, and we both hit it off professionally and personally, and working with her was fun, building her logo to her brochures and website. She also brought us a lot of cupcakes through the whole process.
Very cool. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Could you tell us your names, what you do here at the Childress Agency?
My name is Ata. I'm the Director of Business Operations at Childress Agency. I basically oversee our web development and digital marketing departments as well as the business development.
Fantastic.
My name is Debbie Fleischer, and I'm the VP of Marketing. So anything that has to be written or sold or pitched, I'm part of that.
Fantastic. Well, again, thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. We have a couple questions for you. But first, to both of you, what is the most important thing to consider when planning a branding strategy for a client?
Great question. Debbie, would you like to take it?
I guess it would be your due diligence. I think that most people think of marketing as sales. It's not. Marketing is more research than anything else. I'd say probably about 80%. So knowing not only what your brand is, who your consumer is, what you're trying to target, your competition, just basically everything that relates anything to your brand before you ever get started with actually trying to figure out what your brand is.
Yeah, definitely trying to do that deep dive assessment to really understand what, not only internal but external marketing, all those types of things.
Mhm.
So, Ada, I'm going to turn it over to you with digital marketing and websites. You know, we've seen a real rise in analytics. How can business owners benefit from business analytics?
Absolutely, great question. So the way digital analytics works is that we implement a piece of code on your website and it tracks the user behavior. And once we do this, like, we can see what your clients are actually interested in, because when people start businesses, they have a vision, but that vision may not be actually matching with the demand of the customers. So digital analytics actually closes that gap for your business and kind of gives you ideas that you didn't know about your business. That's the one side of it, and the another side of it is, let's say you're trying to open a second location for your business and you don't know where the demand is. We could tell you, like, where your customers are visiting from and where they're coming, what's their interest in your business. And the final part of it is that when by implementing this code, we can tell how much time people are spending, or if there's certain pages that they're leaving on your website, so we can make improvements. So if you were to own an e-commerce business and people are adding things in their shopping cart, but it's all of a sudden they don't finalize their purchase, we can see where the issue is and we can address it through our web development and user experience solutions.
Fantastic. One of the things that we hear from many small businesses is an apprehension to spending money on online marketing campaigns. What's your take on that?
Absolutely. So small businesses work with, like, smaller budgets, so that's reasonable for them to be skeptical when they're spending their advertising dollars. But digital marketing is very effective compared to traditional marketing sources, because you can always measure your results and you can control your own budget. It can be set daily, weekly. You can also spend, if you want to spend $10, you can do that. If you want to spend thousands of dollars, you can do that. And so what really matters is that it gives you a lot of control, and you're able to measure the results of your campaigns.
And I think a lot of people don't understand digital marketing, so they think since they can't touch it and see how many other people have touched it, that it doesn't have any value, when the reality is the impressions on something digital is so far and above in pennies to what print is or radio. I mean, how many people even listen to their radio at this stage? But it's not as tangible as, I got this mailer. So I think a lot of times it's, again, researching, explaining to the customers. A lot of it is education. And sometimes we're surprised by our own results.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a really good point, is that education piece and being that consultant to really guide them through that research, as you mentioned earlier, and also the opportunities and solutions and new adventures with digital and everything else. Thank you guys so much for joining us this
Awesome.
morning.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us. Can you tell us your name and what you do here at the Childress Agency?
I'm Andrew Reynolds, and I am Creative Director.
Great. How many years have you been here, Andrew?
Next month will be 2 years.
Fantastic. Congratulations on the work anniversary.
Thank you.
So July then, I started in July at the Chamber, so we're in the...
Well, happy work anniversary as well.
We're in the same work anniversary month. So since you've been here, what's been your favorite part about working at the Childress Agency?
I think it's the fact that we're an independent design firm and the diversity of clients that we get. I've worked in-house for several years for just a single client, and I don't want to say it gets monotonous, but you do work on the same things every day, so it's really nice to just have a diversity of clients from all the way from a local plumber to national government, like contractor agencies and stuff. So you really get everything in between, and the work's always changing day to day.
No, that's great. What would you say is one of the most key things to consider when working with clients?
I think one of the key factors is, again, since they are all different and unique, it's really focusing in on like what everybody's unique problem is and what things they're needing solved, and coming up with creative solutions on how to solve their specific problems.
And so how has that played into, as you've worked in this industry, how has that kind of changed what the solutions are that are to be delivered based on the pain points that they're experiencing?
Since things have changed a lot more to the digital age now, since we are like a website marketing agency, a lot of things are focused digital now, and running like a lot of different online campaigns and stuff like that, instead of your typical like radio or phone book or things like that. So a lot of online marketing and stuff has really changed recently.
Great. If you could, in your role as creative director, what do you find is the most rewarding part of your job?
I think it is touching again on coming up with unique and creative solutions for the very diverse clients that we have. But it is also, I like coming up with like creative solutions and stuff for in-house problems, and really just being able to like touch on everything here and just provide creative solutions and thoughts and critical thinking to just everything here at the agency.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much. It was great to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Could you all please introduce yourselves and tell us what you do here at the Childress Agency?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Olivia Taylor, and I'm the social media and marketing intern here at the Childress Agency. I just graduated from the University of Mary Washington in May, and I'll be attending Auburn University in the fall for my master's in communication.
My name is Sarah Beal, and I'm also a social media and marketing intern here at the Childress Agency just for the summer, and then I'll be returning to Clemson University in the fall.
My name is Brandy Metcalf, and I am the communications coordinator here at the Childress Agency. My main objective is to be in charge of Alexa at all times.
Fantastic. Brandy, I don't think that's all you do, because I think you also do a lot of the blogging here at the Childress Agency. So how often should I be blogging?
Well, it kind of depends on your company and what you do. I personally run my own company on the side, and I definitely recommend blogging at least twice a week. One of the most important things when it comes to your website is fresh new content, so it's really important to get more words on your website as often as possible.
Great, thank you. Sarah, how important are the numbers when it comes to social media?
Well, numbers don't necessarily mean success. If you have 1 million followers and none of them are engaging with the content that you are providing, then it's not as useful as if you had, like, say, 500 that were engaging every day and following along.
That's great. Olivia, Brandy mentioned consistency when it comes to blogging. Is it different, or is it the same with social media?
Consistency really is key as far as your social media approach. Making sure from even just having your logo on all of the pictures that you put out, having that consistency of what can users expect from your brand, making sure everything is uniform, making sure everything is, while it's a different mix of content, it still has that, you want to use similar colors. Here at the Childress Agency, our colors are orange, so we try to have that little bit of orange in a lot of the things that we produce. So having that similar strain through all of your posts while having a diverse amount of content, and then as well as consistency for posting. So if you want to post every day, similar time, so people come to expect that from you as a user experience through social media.
Great, thank you. Brandy, what do you think is the single most important thing to do to increase your social media presence?
Well, I think it depends, again, on the customer. Every company is different. So, for example, if you were an e-commerce company, I would definitely say the most important thing is putting your information and your clothing or whatever it might be as far as merchandise on different platforms every single day so that you're reaching more users and reaching more people every day.
That's great. For each of you, I guess, to kind of sum this all up, what do you think is one tip that a business could implement tomorrow to increase their social media?
I would definitely say one tip is getting yourself out there and engaging on social media. It's not enough to just put your own content out there, but it's engaging with the other people on that platform. So going out and liking and, you know, leaving different comments on fellow businesses or personal pages, that sort of stuff. Because if you engage with other people, they're more likely to engage with you. It gets your name out there. If they see, oh, the Childress agency liked my photo, I'm going to go, you know, check them out. It really is just a free way for you to get your name out there, and it's relatively easy to do.
I would have to say the story highlights on Instagram, they're fairly new, but it's a great way for you to like put stuff out every day that's more natural. Like, it doesn't have to be that perfect post that you want to put on Instagram, but it can just be like, oh, something that's going on in the office, like National Donut Day, and then you can put those little snippets on the like beginning of your profile, so when people go to your profile, they can get to know you a little bit better.
My biggest tip would be, instead of focusing on every single social media platform, focus on the ones that interest you and that you actually like. So don't try to do Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat all at once, because you're never going to be able to keep up with that. Definitely focus on the ones that are the best for your type of business and then go from there.
Great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.